If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. It's been quite quiet around Travis Scott's UTOPIA album that we talked about so much over the past couple of months and even more than a year ago. We've gotten several hints. I went over them in so many videos, yet, we had the billboards, we had like different tweets, we had different like even release dates, but now I think we're getting a step closer to this. I also recently dropped a video, when will he be dropping this, and in that video I went into the fact that he's got this 7-show Road to Utopia at the Zouk nightclub in Las Vegas, and during this road trip, or like Road to Utopia, he's doing 7 performances at the club, and they are spaced out quite far. The first one is happening on September 17th, and the second one is happening in October. I think it was the 14th or the 15th. And so if we're going at that rate, it would put the release date of Utopia, if it is the final destination of this Road to Utopia, somewhere in like April of 2023. And so that is of course not a very good sign for fans. But he did kind of tease a couple of more things, yet, in his story on his Instagram, even the Zouk nightclub itself posted some stuff that got me thinking it might even drop earlier than that. So let's look at this. So the first thing that I want to point out, which is already the main one, is that he posted another promotion for this Road to Utopia on his Instagram story. And he just plainly said, the Road to Utopia, and then a link to the ZoukGroupLV.com website, so the nightclub. But then there's also a picture. You can see the picture. I'll put it in more high resolution for you. And this looks a lot like an album cover, not gonna lie. And I've seen a lot of people already make theories about this, that this is the album cover or whatnot, but it does very much look like an album cover. It is Travis standing in this like light from above. It looks really dope. I like it. I like how this looks. I think it looks really epic and would be fitting for an album like Utopia. Astro World was more like playful. This one would be like legendary. You feel me? Like what I'm trying to say, with like the Utopia already being this very mysterious, infamous project that we've been waiting for such a long time. This would be a perfect album cover to fit that type of vibe. But that is not the only source that we got this from, because a couple of days later, and this is kind of what I waited for because I didn't want to just go off of one story, the Zouk nightclub put this same image on their website for the Road to Utopia, and they have it right there next to buying your ticket. So that to me is another confirmation that this is somewhat of an official cover art. Even the location that he's using this for is also promoting this image, and it all has this tone of like, this is gonna be the road to the album obviously being titled Utopia, because that is just what he's been teasing for such a long time now. And if it's the Road to Utopia, it's the road to the album, and on this road to the album we have this album cover, so that kind of makes sense to me. Now, there's also a couple of more hints that he's got something going on. For example, he just performed this, he announced this a long time ago, but he had this performance in London at the O2, which was really big. I think it was a 2 or 3 day, performance that he had, like different performances on different nights. And he posted some footage of those nights on his Instagram. And for example, on one of them, he has the caption, now to finish, and then a CD emoji. So this was obviously referring to him now finishing the album. This was about 3 weeks ago, so that's kind of what we're going off of. Even like the official rap Instagram account commented, album September, like Birds in the Trap. So that's kind of like, even everyone is getting like into this and speculating when this will actually drop. And just to kind of like put a reference on this, how big this mysterium of Utopia has already gotten, when you just Google Utopia, Travis Scott, it even has its own like Google category of like what this album is about, and like the artists, the producers, and all of that, like a little bio already from Wikipedia put in there. We also have like a tab at the top for like videos and artists, so even Google is getting in on this. This is like getting real big. And of course, if you want to get into the leaks for this thing so far, there's always the official or the unofficial Genius fan page, where people just accumulate all of the leaks that have been going around and put like names to them and put them like in a track list that of course isn't the official track list, but can give fans somewhat of a bigger picture as to what this could turn out to be. Now let's get into some speculation about when this might actually drop and which of the information that we got might turn out to be actually true. Because this is the part now where we're making up theories. It's not about factual evidence anymore. You know, we just went over it. We have the nightclub, the story. We have the cover for this thing supposedly. But now let's talk about when this might actually drop. So of course the evidence-based view on this would be that it's dropping in March or April, just judging from calculating into the future when this road to Utopia at the Zouk nightclub will end. But I don't actually think it'll be that far into the future. I think Utopia will drop before then. Maybe the shows after that will just be like performances of the album, a couple of, or even the ones that are, getting closer to the end of it. So like after the first two shows that are happening in September and October, and maybe from the third one on, it's going to be like more closely spaced so that the 5th, the 6th, the 7th show are all happening like within like a month, or like even within like 2 weeks or something like that. So that they'll be spaced, more closely together, that we're getting to this event. He could even make this like a whole Kanye West Donda experience, teasing it a couple of snippets with the first two shows and then being like, okay, but tomorrow is the next one, and the people get all hyped up for this. And so at that rate, I could see this dropping at some point even this winter still. But you gotta also see the fact that artists usually want to drop big albums in the summer, because that's usually the time when they perform best, aside from a couple of exceptions. And so that's another reason why it might even be as late as even next summer. But I don't think that would do the album very well. I think the hype is right now at its peak. We're getting more like leaks and more hints and more snippets than we have ever before, more teasers from Travis himself. So I think it's not right around the corner, but the rollout is starting very soon. That's at least what I'm thinking. And to the cover art, I do actually believe there's a great chance that this might be the official album cover. Of course, it might take away some excitement if you're waiting for the album cover to actually come out, because we already knew this one. But I think it looks like a Utopia album cover. I think it looks like it could be this mysterious album. But I wouldn't also not be surprised if it's somewhat of a derivative of it. Like if somehow, just some little things were edited, or some stuff like a logo or like a slogan was added to this, to just make it like just a little bit different, aside from the fact that we already knew this one so far ahead in the past before this thing dropped. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a bit different. But that's the evidence we have so far. The album cover might be the one that I showed y'all, and we have the Zouk nightclub thing happening. Now I want to know what you think about this though. When do you think Utopia is dropping? What do you think about all the new hints that we got? What do you think about the album cover? Is that actually the one that you might think will actually turn out to be on the official album for this one? And how do you think this whole thing will be released through the Road to Utopia events that are happening? All of your thoughts on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and you'll take care.